Whip fishing is all about amassing large numbers of fish to make a big weight. Large numbers of bleak, roach, dace, fish up to 5 and 6 ounces. The new Acolyte whip is more than capable of catching fish and swinging fish up to 6 ounces. We've had a few today, getting up bigger than that. We've actually netted some of the bigger ones. You don't want those dropping off anyway, so you should be netting all of the slightly bigger fish. I've had a good summer on the Thames. Last few seasons I've had a hell of a lot of small fish on the whip. I think that's probably one of the big reasons why my results have been so good. I'm fortunate enough to know the river so well that even in these less unfavourable conditions that we've got at the minute, flowing coloured rivers, we've still been able to find a few fish. There's always a big decision whenever you buy a whip as to whether you're going to use a flick tip or elastic. Today we've gone for an elastic, catching fish up to 5-6 ounces and even a few slightly bigger. It just gives you a little bit more when they do really bolt off. With flick tips, I often find you just pull out a fish. And of course the stamper fish, you know, flick tips are fantastic for catching fish up to maybe 2 ounces, loads of bleak, large numbers of bleak. But we've decided to go for the elastic today. So the way that we've fed it today, we've chucked in 8 to 10 balls of small ground bait, small balls of ground bait. With not too much bait in, the reason being it's flowing so fast, we want to be able to top up quite regularly. So we have also topped up a ball of chuck all day with ground bait, a ball with, I would say, 5 maggots, 5 casters and a few bits of hemp just to aid with breaking it up. The ground bait mix was 50-50 with soil. The soil is really important to help break up the mix. Without it, it would see the fish pecking at the balls of ground bait and it just wouldn't be filling them up. Typically when whip fishing, people will always fish a slim float. My choice for this is the AS Pencil. It's a great float for this in a gram and a half and a 2 gram. However, when conditions are not favourable, I will then go to an AS7, which is a wire stem round bodied float. The control is far better. We've actually found that today. When the winds got up, we have switched that float and it was far better. The Pencil is great for the clean exit in and out of the water. It doesn't spook fish quite so much. It's a much softer approach, but some days the AS7 is just far better for me. The hook of choice today has been a carbon match in an 18 to 010. We have had a hell of a lot of pike problems and we have had to sort of get them away from the pike a lot quicker. Fuck! Did you see that? So we've then gone to a Camasan B560, my favourite hook for whip fishing. Absolutely fantastic hook and it's enabled us to get the fish out far quicker. So we started on the 6 metre Acolyte whip today. We haven't had the best of starts and we've actually had to introduce some loose fed maggots. Even though the river is absolutely raging, just a few loose fed maggots has helped to bring the fish up from probably the next peg. And that has got the swim very good over the next sort of couple of hours, but we have had terrible bleak problems. And what we've actually done is we've fished the Acolyte whip, but then at 4 metres, so the top kit with 1 section on, with a flick tip. Now we've had a few bleak, probably 50 to 60 bleak, very quick. And then what that has enabled us then to do is then go back underneath the bleak and have another good little run of roach. And it's just thinned out the bleak and pushed them away a little bit, and it's made the whip line far stronger underneath the bleak. I've been using the 8 metre Acolyte whip a lot over the last few seasons, and the 6 metre whip is completely interchangeable and it comes with everything that the 8 metre whip does. It comes with the bushes and the bungs and the flick tip all supplied. So we're heading into the winter now, and going by what conditions have been like the last few years, I will be taking my whip with me every single week. What with the weather, the way it's been the last few winters, there's going to be much larger numbers of fish into smaller areas, and this will be perfect for the whip, catching very big weights on the whip with small fish, and this is when the whip will come into its own.